So I want to talk about my favourite director, Stephen Elliott, and I want to give you all a double feature. So if you do check out his films, I want to give you a feature from the golden age of films, which they would make a nice pairing. Now this one may be a little bit like with Welcome to Whoop Whoop. It's a bit of a chalk and cheese moment, but this time around, so following from the success of Easy Virtue, Stephen Elliott was given a director for hire assignment called A Few Best Men. Now, I mean, this is very, very much in the vein of, not The Bachelor, what's it called? What is that movie called? Anyway, so it's, three guys who go on a bachelor's party and one of them gets lost and they're looking for it. I'll pop the name when I remember. Okay, and so this is very much in that vein. So I don't know if fans of the Golden Age would like the humour in this, because it is that sort of very, 2010s humour. And of course you've got the wonderful, funnily enough, they've got her here as The Bridesmaid, which is the film that made her super duper famous, although in Australia she was famous as the kind of Telstra not Big Brother, Australian Idol fan. So her name is Rebel Wilson, and so you've got the fellow from Love Actually, the groom, I think it's Xavier Samuel, who's from Twilight, and then you've got the fellow who, I forgot his name. Anyway, he was once Steven Spielberg's protege, but he never got to make a film with him. Anyway, it's all sort of around the humour. There's a lot of humour around this sheep, so I guess you've got, maybe that's why they thought he'd be good for this film. So this was a big hit in Australia, although not a big hit with the critics. For me personally, it's not my favourite type of film, although I did enjoy Stephen Elliott's flourishes. So apparently he used to be a wedding photographer or wedding videographer back in the day, and so he input some of the elements into this, and there are some fun. For me, there were some really funny moments. Like, it is a kind of wedding from hell, and I haven't mentioned the biggest star, which is Olivia Newton-John, in a very non-Sandy in Grease-like role. So it is funny, and it is a kind of wedding from hell. There is this great set piece where one of the wedding decorations go awry, and I guess for me, one nice thing is I think it was filmed in the Blue Mountains, which is where my father lived for quite a long time, and I have a lot of fond memories of the Blue Mountains. So the film I'm pairing it with, so aren't all weddings kind of a wedding from hell? Because like weddings make life hellish for maybe the father of the bride. So that's the film I'm going to recommend from the Golden Age. It's Elizabeth Taylor in her most beautiful, and Spencer Tracy, and I forgot her name, but so his wife, is it Joan Bennett? Anyway, his wife is really wonderful too. It's a lovely film, and it's one of Vincent Minnelli's films. Black and white, even though this kind of suggests that it might be in colour, so I'll pop it around, and it sort of has a bit of psychological elements, like it sort of has a touch of Hitchcock, which is kind of interesting, with the father just trying to manage this wedding that's being put on in his house. And so if you're in the mood for the weddings from hell, A Few Best Men and Father of the Bride, are my recommendations. Thank you. So Hamish here again. So I want to recommend one more film. So not just my Few Best Men and Father of the Bride. So before he made this Bucks Night film, Stephen Elliott actually made another Bucks Night film. I think it was called The Agreement, but it may actually have another title. But anyway, it's a short film about a young man and his delightful groomsmen all hire a lady of the night who happens to be a dominatrix, and he has a very interesting night, not unlike The Sheep does. So there you go. Thank you.